Hey everybody, it's 580 week one. You made it. If you have not watched the instructor welcome, please go take care of that. It's over in the top corner under Meet Your Instructor. That's where I give you an introduction to the course, and a lot of this won't make sense without that. So just stop listening to me now, click on Meet Your Instructor, watch that video, and then come on back. I'll sit in the same seat. All right, welcome back. Or you're just like, really, this is what he's doing? Yes, it is. Let's talk about week one. So hopefully you have taken a chance to look at the capstone resources. At this point, hopefully you also went through the syllabus. When you click on syllabus/handbook/text, that's where you get the syllabus. The capstone handbook is phenomenal. You are so lucky to have this handbook. Many other programs that are doing action research projects of this magnitude do not have resources that are nearly this well organized or thoughtful or helpful. So I would say the three big things that are going to be helpful for you this week, in addition to just kind of doing the work, is actually reading through that handbook under capstone resources, looking at a sample. It's called Sample Capstone Project. Heart rate monitors in PE. If I think it's super helpful to know here's where we're headed. Not even in 580. This is just the proposal course. But by the end of 605, you'll do a version of this, right? Your own action research project. So I think knowing where we're headed is super helpful. So at the very least, skim through that collaborative project. Heart rate monitor, PE, sample. Super useful. And then on the week one page, it's going to be really helpful to, there it is. The What Works Clearinghouse is what it is called. It sounds super boring and super not helpful. Turns out it's really helpful. It is a website that finds evidence-based research. So kind of the two ways you can approach thoughtfully finding things to change about your professional practice are find resources generally through social media, which end up being blogs or just short videos of people that anecdotally share, hey, I did this thing in my classroom, our school's trying this thing, let me tell you a story, it was amazing. And the idea is that it worked for that person or that classroom or that school, and hopefully it'll work for you or your classroom or your school. Just kind of anecdotal blog posts, videos, whatever. That's how I tend to share my work. That's how I tend to change my own practice and how I try and go through kind of this educational career that I have, I suppose, is the best way to put it. And that's amazing. It's very easy to make kind of small steps and go, wow, I've gotten to know this person and their work and their blogs and their videos or whatever over the years. I know that what they share is valuable. I know that what they share philosophically aligns with me, and that if I trust them, I will likely be able to, continue growing as an educator. For me personally, the way that typically looks these days isn't even by reading blog posts with conversations. So by the time you were watching this at the beginning of week one, I just was at the Fall Q conference. The great thing about video is I haven't gone yet, but what I'm expecting to do, and by the time you watch this, what I will have done, that was a mouthful, is connect with like-minded educators, not necessarily even in the same school type or same job type, but people that just are excited about how technology is a lever in the classroom, how it lets us really transform the student experience and really the teaching experience. And so what I was most excited about, or since I'm here now talking, what I will be most excited about is having those conversations. So not the sessions, not the resources people share, not the slide decks, but finding people who I have gotten to know through Q like the last 7 years. I have some solid relationships, and getting a chance just to sit down with people, sometimes during sessions, sometimes over dinner, sometimes long after dinner, and just getting to talk about what we're excited about. Sometimes it's about tools, sometimes it's about practice, sometimes it's about what education might be. but it's inevitably those conversations that really push my own thinking and my own professional practice. Um, so that's a very long way of saying, like, if you're doing any of that, awesome, keep doing all of that. This website, the What Works Clearinghouse, is a different direction. It is evidence-based, it is research-based, it is action research-based, and what they do is they filter out research and basically vouch for it and say, like, this is good stuff. This is what works in schools. We know that. So if we click on, for example, science, we'll see that it's already filtered. I can come down and filter it further by English language learners. I can click on more filters and say I only want grades 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. And now that has filtered it for me, so it's science and those grades. I have 10 resources, and I can click on Technology Enhanced Elementary and Middle School Science. That's going to give me a category and have a study that meets that standard. It gives me something with an improvement index, and that gives you kind of a plus or a minus as to kind of the effect, the best bang for your buck. Like, if you implement this, it will likely have a significant impact on your practice. If you click down on it further, it gives you the authors of that study, and you can click on that and it actually takes you to the study. There's a whole page that gives you the details of the review, the findings that they have, details about the study, so like the setting, sample, the intervention group, the comparison group, which may mean nothing to you, but very quickly you'll be like, oh yeah, I totally got what this is, and then a link to what that actually is, right? So you can click on that and look at the report. Super useful. So as we start to look for resources, this is a great place to go. It's also a really good starting point for kind of dipping your toes in the water or just diving headfirst into action research. So that's a super great resource. Other things we need to do this week, look at the forum. So the week 1 forums ask you, I just closed that out, discussions week 1. Introduce yourself, give us just an honest kind of self-assessment of how you understand action research, and then kind of your educational philosophies or values. This is probably going to be the most critical step of the next 8 weeks, because finding people that are philosophically aligned, I think, is going to be the most beneficial to you in finding action research groups. So please put some thought into your core education values, and please, 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 it means a lot if you can add a photo to yourself, because often I don't get a chance to see you, even if we get together for a video chat. A lot of people have their cameras off just so that it's a more consistent audio experience. And then it's kind of the teeing up of choosing a topic. So that is the first forum. That second one is going to be kind of a more traditional discussion board. You know, you've been exposed to a lot of issues in education, a lot of research, practice. Reflect on your learning over the course of the program. As always, both of these initial posts is due Thursday by midnight. 2 thoughtful responses due Sunday by midnight. And if you just scroll to the side underneath the week by week, there's a link to discussion board. And then the very, very top of that, before they're all listed, there are 2 links that you aren't typically linked to. The first one is going to give you the rubric and grading criteria. Please review that if you've not done that recently. The other one, and there's a link to this in week 1, is developing research